We begin with powerful Hurricane Melissa making landfall in Jamaica. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Jason Allen reporting from Portmore, Jamaica. What are the conditions like where you are, Jason?
Well, this hurricane came on shore hours ago, and things have not gotten any better. And consider that we are 75, 80 miles to the east of where Melissa made landfall. Just in the last 15 minutes or so, there's been a noticeable change in temperature here, much cooler here on the backside of this storm. But the winds don't feel like they have lessened at all. We had a break in the rain where there was a lot of sea spray and the waves still coming up, but now that rain has started coming again. And you can get a sense that the wind is just not quit gusting. We feel like we are very well within hurricane strength winds still here, this far away from the center of the storm.
Wow. And Jason, the Prime Minister said there is no infrastructure in the region that can withstand a Category 5. What damage are you seeing or getting reports of, or is it still just too early to tell?
A lot of it is too early to tell. Now, I know that there have been a lot of reports coming in and even some cameras that have stayed up across the island of extreme flooding. But a lot of that has been difficult to get to. We tried to get to some flooded out bridges that are just west of the area where we were, and we couldn't get there. There's trees down across roads, and that is something that I think you expect to face in any storm like this, that it takes a long time potentially to move trees out of the way, move power lines out of the way. I mean, we've seen roofs flapping since early this morning. So I imagine the closer you get to center, there are likely places where there are entire structures that are gone.
You can see the waves whipping up behind you. We really appreciate you and your crew bringing this to us. Please stay safe.
Thank you.
CBS News New York chief weathercaster Lonnie Quinn is tracking this storm for us. Lonnie, how has the storm been behaving and where is it headed next?
Okay, this one is going to be moving next towards Cuba and eventually towards the Bahamas, and probably Bermuda will even be affected by this, probably still having 100-mile-per-hour winds by the time it gets to Bermuda. But you're asking about how this is behaving. Linz, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never seen a storm behave like this. This storm actually got stronger as it approached the shoreline. Typically, we always talk about interaction with the land, all right, and some friction starting to tear it up a bit. Watch this, okay? Here you see those major hurricane force winds right around the eye wall, right? That's where you've got Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5. That's where you have 185-mile-per-hour winds as it came on shore. This is at 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning, they're dealing with the 185-mile-per-hour winds, and look at this. It doesn't make landfall until about 1 o'clock. Let me get on this side so you can see all the information right there. 1 o'clock, okay, near New Hope, Jamaica, Category 5, with winds at 185 miles per hour. And also, this is another thing, and if you're not into like tropical meteorology, it's all about the minimum central pressure. We used to categorize hurricanes by that. This is about the third lowest we've ever had. Currently, okay, we've lost it. What looks like we've lost the eye of the storm. You really haven't. It's just moving over the land. It's getting torn up a bit. Still a Category 4 hurricane, Lindsay. This is doing major damage out there. And think about this. As it's moving over the mountains of Jamaica, winds get stronger the higher up you go. So when they were reporting 185-mile-per-hour winds, Lindsay, that's at the surface, all right? Let's go up, 300, 400, 500 feet. They get bigger and stronger out there. I think some of these mountaintops in Jamaica are going to get sheared. And if you take a look at where the storm goes next, it's going to be exiting probably as a low-grade Cat 4, maybe a Cat 3, and approaching Cuba as a Cat 3. Now it looks like it wants to emerge from Cuba as a Cat 3. And by the time we get into Wednesday, it's approaching the Bahamas. Category 3 storm is a major hurricane. We would refer to this as a major player. And prior to this storm, the biggest one Jamaica has ever dealt with was Gilbert, which was a Category 3 storm. It was a Category 5 this time. And you talked before, it's the biggest storm that Jamaica has ever had to deal with. How about this, Lindsay? Try this one on for size. There has never been a larger hurricane in the Atlantic or the Pacific to make landfall bigger than Melissa. Melissa ties Dorian in 2019 and the Labor Day hurricane back in 1935 with 185-mile-per-hour winds. This is like the granddaddy of them all, well, maybe the grandmama of them all, but it's a huge storm. And the effects, we won't know the final effects until we can survey that area. Jason Alexander was 75 to 80 miles away. That pool of really heavy winds is only 25 miles from the center. So he was far from really the worst of it.
Wow. When you say you've never seen anything like this, we listen. Lonnie Quinn, thank you. Aid groups have been preparing to deliver critical help as soon as possible. Joining us now from Kingston, Jamaica, is Brian Bogart. He is the director of the World Food Program Caribbean Multi-Country Office. Brian, thanks for being here. What is your team doing right now?
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Our team is really already preparing to surge and support and respond to the impacts of this crisis. So we have people here in Jamaica on the ground, working with the government, working with humanitarian actors to coordinate and plan the delivery of assistance as soon as we have access. And then we have teams in Barbados, where we have a regional logistics center that are loading aircraft, vessels, so that we can deliver upstream support and supply to the country as soon as possible.
What challenges does Jamaica's own landscape pose when it comes to getting workers where they need to be, getting aid to those directly impacted?
Sure. I think it's really important to understand that in a mountainous landscape, what we're looking at are potential for landslides, flash flooding, that has clear impacts on bridges and infrastructure. So the movement of supplies from central depots to the areas where they're needed most is extremely challenging if we don't have access because bridges are wiped out. But in addition, airports, port facilities, the core infrastructure of the country could be impacted, and that may cause delays in bringing support in from outside. I think it's also important to note that we have major storm surges that have been projected for Southwest Jamaica, and that could cause serious issues with infrastructure, and people are already devastated by the impacts. Some homes, I've seen images of homes that have already been submerged, government buildings that have been completely destroyed. So we are really preparing for the worst and ready to do whatever we can.
What are you and your team going to need once this passes and recovery gets underway?
I mean, the scale of this disaster is really unprecedented in the history of Jamaica, as your correspondent outlined. And I think inevitably we're going to need the resources, both financial and in terms of capability from the private sector, from various parts of governments around the world to surge in, support the reconstruction, and clear debris, and be able to make sure that we have the resources to get to people and to restore the Jamaican economy to functionality as quickly as possible.
Brian Bogart, thank you. Hope you and your team stay safe.
Thank you so much.
An American couple who were not able to get out of Jamaica before Melissa made landfall are trying to make the best of it in their hotel room. Bridget and Wayne Todd are in Negril, Jamaica, on the west coast of the island. The North Carolina residents were married last October. They took this trip as their honeymoon and first anniversary celebration. I spoke with them earlier, and while they both told me they have emergency training and have kept each other calm, this was not what they expected for their trip.
I think we're a great support system. We know a lot about emergency situations. I think that makes us stronger together. This is definitely not the way we anticipated spending our anniversary, but we are just, thankful we do have each other. We're thankful for the staff here and all they've done to keep us updated, prepare us the best that they can. And we're, just asking people to not only pray for us, Americans that are stranded here, but the entire country and its people of Jamaica. I know that some people aren't as fortunate to be in more secure structural situations, or even to places of higher ground that would be safer. So we're really thinking about them during this time.
Well said. And you guys are able to communicate with your families and let them know you're safe?
Yes, we've been able to keep in contact as long as we have the Wi-Fi working here.
Everybody's worried about you?
Everybody is worried. The amount of support that we've gotten has been very overwhelming. We're very thankful for everybody and their kind words and their love.
All right. Well, Bridget and Wayne Todd, thank you both so much and stay safe.